Before I get into the recap and stuff, I've got a couple of little bits for you to have a look at and notice some changes. First one is in your ecosystem. Okay, this was brought to me by our very own John White. Thank you so much for that. As always, guys, if you see any changes, notifications, or things that have changed, just let me know, and then I can spread the word to bring it to everybody so that they are up to date. But the first one that I've noticed, and I don't know how long it's been there for, or the change has been there for, but it's in the My Wallets section. So if you click on My Wallets, okay, and to the My Wallet section on the first part, okay, if you scroll down to there, okay, you will see, no, not My Wallet, sorry, My Revenue on the My Wallets section. So My Wallets and then My Revenue, it says commissions received. And I noticed on the commissions received area that's been updated a little bit now. If you'll notice, it's got the person's or referral's name, their transaction ID. It also has the time and date of when that transaction was given, also the product, the plan, the amount paid, and then it has a revenue earned section on the right-hand side of that with credits and payout. Okay, that has changed slightly from my knowledge anyway. I haven't seen it before. So thank you, John White, for bringing that to the table. Also, another little update that things are moving slightly, and that is on the OES app. If you remember when everything was closed down, the OES app just span, didn't it? When you were trying to log into it, it was just a spinning circle. Now you can get as far as the login area of that app now. So it actually opens. You can put your credentials into that login area, but it won't take you any further than that. Okay, so that is a change that has moved down the line slightly. All of this means to me that things are starting to move a little bit, or certainly work is being done in those areas. This is obviously a massive positive, and it also means that they are working in those areas. So have a look at those guys. You'll see them yourself, and you can obviously give me any feedback if you need to as well. So today we're going to do a bit of a recap. I probably won't be able to get through it all. I've written my own notes on it. Normally we do get notes from other people, but this time round we haven't. Also on this channel, I have put up a just Ash Mufareh only from Marty's live yesterday with subtitles in English, and I've also done a separate one with subtitles in Hindi for our Indian brothers and sisters, so that you can follow that as well. Why do the recaps? I like to break it down, put my ideas into it, and try and make it into a bit more layman's terms so that we can all understand it a little bit more of what our CEO said yesterday. So let's start off then. And he said, we haven't talked about business in a while. He said, I showed up at Christmas on here and afterwards on other platforms. Just because he said you don't see me doesn't mean that I'm not available or in fact working. How many times have we said many, many times that just because we're not seeing our CEO on a regular basis at the moment doesn't mean to say he's not behind the scenes working very, very hard. He then went on to say, you are right about some stuff, Marty and Chris, but wrong about other stuff. He says, you're right that the spirit hasn't changed. But I tell you what I can, and that is to say, nothing has changed. Okay. He also said, of course, a lot has changed for the better. We are now more aware now. We're a lot more educated about things, cautious, obviously, more connected with not only us and other people. We have a better team, and we have also learned a little bit away along the line, haven't we? as well from what has happened. He said 2024 also down the line will be witnessed as one of the best years in business for OnPassive, for going in the right direction. Now, a lot of us here probably don't think that 2024 has actually been able to do that, have they? But certainly revealing, he said, all this nonsense, what's gone on and everything, it's certainly going to put us in a much better position because of what happened in 2024 going forward. Angela Lynn says the app has been like that available for a very long time, but I have noticed that is on the Apple iOS system. I hadn't noticed that before in a while. Stand me corrected, but I don't check it every single week, but I have checked it on occasion. So thank you, Andy Lynn, for letting me know that on Android it's been there for a while. Let's get back then. He then went on to say, Victoria isn't going to be a secret any longer. He said, we're going to be not that secretive for very much longer. Soon, he said, I'm going to be going in to expose lots of crooks and wrongdoings. Dirty laundry will be aired. Colonel Daniel Lee, thank you for your super sticker, my friend. But with evidence. Now, that for me is a very, very important part of the next phase of OnPassive. I think for us to get the two sides of the story, which is what I was talking about yesterday, I think not only is it important for our CEO to lay bare what has gone on and what has happened, but also back it up with evidence as well. Why? Because otherwise you just got two sides of people's word, haven't you? If you can back one up with actual evidence that we can see, then that's certainly going to add a huge amount more weight to that side of the story than it is to others. I think that is a massive positive for us and our CEO, that he's waited all of this time. He's kept his mouth shut all of this time through all of this drama. Justin Magani, I think that is. Welcome to the Tea Club. Thank you for joining. It's very kind of you. He said that's not the main thing, and it wasn't, and it isn't going to fix anything that has happened. Is it important for us to know this? Yeah, it is. I certainly believe that. I think for us to move forward with this business, I think it is very important for us to know exactly what's gone on, to again solidify that trust in the business, in the company, and certainly in our CEO Ash Mufareh. And I certainly believe that by laying things bare, telling us exactly what's gone on with the evidence that he is going to provide, I truly believe this is going to give a huge boost to the business and certainly to his credibility and our credibility as well. He said, and before I mention what he did say, in fact, I'll come back to what I believe and what I think about this as part of what he said. He said, if I wanted to quit moving forward, I would have had the best opportunity to say, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm washing my hands of all of it. I've been a victim, the same as everybody else. Have a good life. You go and figure it out. But, he said, that's not me. I don't quit, he said. I don't change. In fact, I've showed up even stronger, around the clock, to work harder and, of course, a lot smarter. Very poignant to me, that is, and very important to me. We've said many times, haven't we, that a lot of people would have washed their hands of this a long time ago. A lot of people would say, I can't do this anymore. It's affecting me. It's affecting my reputation. It's affecting my family. I'm getting it from all sides. I'm out of here. You know, I've done my best for you. I can't do any more. But he hasn't, has he? He's always had the same attitude, the do it or die attitude, that I am here, I'm going to make this a success, I'm doing it for you guys, and I'm doing it because I said I'm going to do it. This is, for me, really, really positive. Knowing snippets of what we know already, to have him come out and say, I could have walked, but I haven't. I'm here in the trenches doing so much. He also said, there is so many battlegrounds that I have to take care of behind the scenes, of course, but that's not what is going to make up our future and success. So not only is he fighting various scenarios in the background, that's not his focus. His focus is what is going to be happening going forward. His focus is the success of the phase 2 of OnPassive, the success of the business, not only for himself, but also, more importantly, for all of us. That is what he is focusing on. Of course, he's having to negotiate his way around or fight these battles in the background, but knowing that he is driving forward and pushing forward really is amazing for us to be able to do. He went on to say, this is a good lesson in life. He said it really is good training. In fact, what matters more is that we go forward from here. We've said many times, haven't we, during the last 3-4 months, how important it is to look forward rather than going back on ourselves to discuss things that have gone wrong, or to blame, or to point fingers and all the rest of it. It's much more important to take stock, of course, of what has happened, learn from those mistakes, be better the next time as you're moving forward. Learn those lessons, but don't make it something that is going to hinder you going forward in the future. I certainly believe that our CEO has learned an awful lot from what went on, for the better. I think it's going to stand us all in good stead moving forward because of those hard lessons he's had to learn along the way. We've all had to learn a lot of lessons ourselves, haven't we, about ourselves, about where we are putting our allegiance, about how we are navigating this journey of OnPassive. We've had our own hard lessons to learn. But this is what makes the victory all the more sweeter, knowing the hardships we've all had to go through individually, collectively, and of course the business. When we get to that victory, then it's all the more sweeter because it's not been easy. It's not been something that has been handed to us on a plate. We've all suffered in some way, shape, or form to get to that finish line. This is why when people learn of our stories and learn of what we've been through, then they might realize how tough we all have been to stay the course. So he said, so we are in a much better position today than ever. Okay, we will obviously talk more about all of that soon, he said, but the biggest highlight is how much stronger, he said, we are. He said, I have more drive, more motivation than I ever realized over the period of this time. He said, I have realized a few things. He said, how slippery, how muddy, and how corrupt things are out there. He said, look around you. People are expecting something miraculous to come to help them out. Where's that going to come from? He said, if you're expecting it to come from politicians or a better economy or from your workplace, He says change is not going to come from these types of people. He said there is still people who care, obviously, and have a good heart. But the trouble is, it's not the ability or the availability of these people that is going to change things. Obviously, together, it is a fantastic thing. But if you can put the availability of the good heart, the ability together, then you're on to a winner. He said, but unfortunately, they haven't got the big voice. They are not the ones to make a significant impact over the world. He said, people in power, unfortunately, are only doing it for personal advantage. They're not doing it for the good of the world. Along comes our CEO, Ashmi Farah, building a company on the basis of heart, on the basis of level playing fields, equality. This is how you make a change in society. This is how you make a change to things that are going on all around the world, by giving that platform to so many people. This is what our CEO is building at the moment for us. One of the important factors he went on to say was the name of the game is unlimited. This is what's going to stand us head and shoulders above many of the other people out there at the moment, to have the unlimited aspect to our business. That goes from earning potential to user experience to everything to do within the ecosystem has unlimited aspects to it. You're not capped on what you are allowed to use or allowed to do. You're not capped on your earning potential. You're not capped on how many people you can bring in, etc., etc. All of these is massively important to our success within OnPassive. He also then said, nothing is expected except for massive success for good. He was really, for me, letting us know that things are going to be changing very soon. What that timeline is going to be, I don't know. But you have to think, why come now? Nobody asked him to come now, to jump onto Marty's. Obviously, he's allowed to go anywhere and be anywhere he wants. So why is he showing up now to give us these updates on what is happening and how we are moving forward? I personally believe it's because we are now getting to the stage where the legal side of what he's allowed to say is almost finalized. He is getting to the stage where the building of the new ecosystem and the products are all coming together. He's confident with his new team that they can deliver on what is happening. We're not there yet, but I certainly think that the reason he's come and talked the way he has, in the manner he's spoken, is because in a very short period of time, whatever that time frame is, we will be moving into this next phase of OnPassive. That is something that he will let us know about. This is something that's going to be given to us through the pop-up in the ecosystem. That is something that we will navigate together, step by step, on what we have to do. I believe that this is the bugle call for us to start getting ready. I believe this is the start of the hard times are behind us. Things are now at the stage where very shortly I will be able to do this and I will be able to do that, and we will be able to move forward. That's what I think. And that is why I think we've seen him yesterday on Marty and Chris's. Does this mean we're going to see him on a more regular basis? I don't know. I certainly hope so, but I certainly don't know. Whichever way it is, one thing I do know is that his commitment to giving us the next phase of OnPassive is solid. I also believe that his commitment to producing an ecosystem and business for us is better than we believe it's going to be. And more importantly, I certainly believe that success of OnPassive moving forward is going to be assured because of what he is putting in place.